Maybe I have
You know?
I was gonna say a lap dance, but like a time lapse with orange tree grow on my YouTube. Like,
That's a big change from lap dance
yeah,
to time
it's a
lapse.
bit different. I think I would
Yes.
go for
Well, it
the
could be the same. You could be lap dancing around the orange tree as it grows in the time lapse. I
yeah
would watch that. That would be entertaining.
yeah, not gonna be any
Uh,
branches, only oranges on top. Hello and welcome, Alias. Thank you for being here.
well, thanks for having me, and thanks to Girl Scout cookies for telling me about you and putting my name in the hat to be here today. Just
Yeah,
had to give him a shout out. You know,
yeah. I got. He asked for you specifically, I think. So yeah,
he's like, "Oh yeah, you'd be great." Blah blah blah, and I'm like, "I don't know. Okay, sure."
it's always interesting. We might dig up some fun stuff that people want to listen to. So first off, what corporation and alliance are you in?
I'm in Phoenix Squadron, and I'm the CEO or the co-CEO with Krizak, and we're in the Wolf Alliance out in the Outer Ring and Fountain area.
I was very close to moving to your system a couple of days ago when I flew around in my Rook and Hyperions just for some PvP.
Oh well, that would have been a fun visit. And you're
Yep.
also welcome to join whenever you want. Happy to have a new member, especially a famous one.
Yeah,
We've got a
famous.
lot
I
of
know.
Europeans in the alliance. You
Oh,
know,
that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, well, I might visit you guys. I'm not sure if we are blue, but unless like if we're not blue, then I will meet you anyway. But I got diversed a couple of days ago, so I went out into Delve instead in my old hometown. There's some great
no,
PvPers in Delve, man.
I believe it. You know.
Yeah, yeah, man. So why did you get the name that you have?
Oh, that's actually an old story.
Perfect.
Back when I was a teenager, well, actually, when I was a little kid, when I was a child, I I went by my name in games was X Dude because when I was 12, I thought that sounded really cool. And then when I was a teenager, I was playing a game with a friend of mine, a bulletin board game, if you remember those, where you'd have to dial up with your modem, and it was called Trade Wars. I don't know if anyone
Okay.
ever played that. It was like a space game, as best as they could do at the time.
All right.
And my friend destroyed me. Um, and I wanted to come back into the game and try to build up and take him on again, but I didn't want him to know who I was in the game. And
Oh,
so instead of using my usual name of X Dude,
yeah.
I went with alias because in English, alias is, it means your alias. It's you've got a false name.
Yeah.
So I used that as my name so he wouldn't know that I was back in the game and he ended up destroying me again, by the way, when he finally did find out I was back in the game. He did
Is
a corp theft. He guessed my password and stole all my stuff, and that's how he destroyed me the second time. So,
he's a hacker.
it's I know. And now he'd be great in Eve if he played it again. He used to play the original Eve with me
Yeah, Eve
years
Online.
ago, but he's never came to Echoes. Yeah.
Okay. Is he playing today or
No, no, no. Too many kids and family keeping him busy.
too many? I
I
got
tried to
four
get him to
kids.
play. Oh
I,
wow! See, I'm gonna tell him. I'm
yeah.
gonna give him the link to this podcast. Be
Yeah,
like, if
man.
Ashiv can do it, so can you. Join
Dude.
me in space.
Yeah. Yeah, if I can do it,
He's
then
only
everyone
got
can do it.
three, so I mean,
Easy, man. Easy.
yeah,
No.
totally.
No, like the difference between 3 and 4 is nothing. I think it's just as hard. And
So
like
it's
when
the
you
one
get
and two change, right?
yeah, when you get the first one, it's like you have no time for anything. And then you get the second one and it's even worse. And then you kind of I think you kind of you learn to live with it, you know.
Yeah,
And then you get
that's
a
what I've
third one.
heard.
Yeah. So now it's like I got time. It's just like do I want to sit down and relax, take some time to maybe some R&R in the sofa, or do I go and do something else? And I decide to do
And then
something
the
else.
goal is when they get old enough, they can start helping out, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
They
I
can
will.
join you in space, and they could be in your corp, or
Yeah,
or our corp. You and your family can all join.
that would be awesome. That would
It
be
would,
really cool.
put
Yeah,
in
I
an
would like it.
application.
But yeah, I said it a year ago. I said like I should have started like a couple of accounts and just started skilling them when they grow up. It's like, here's I've been training this character for 4 years. It's yours. All right,
And then they'll be
amazing.
like, "No, I want to play Candy Crush, Dad."
No, you're not. Fuck that.
Just break your heart.
Dude. Yeah, they are. I was gonna ask you, like, from what game did you come from before Eve Echo? So not like of course not that old game, but what did you play like before Eve Echoes recently?
Um, I mainly play like strategy games, like Civilization,
All right.
stuff like that. Actually, the only other game I've played that's similar is Eve Online, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not like the biggest gamer out there, I suppose. Yeah,
Doesn't
I
have to
just
be.
yeah. I've always liked with both Eves, the thing that I think is really special about them is that you have real loss, you
Yes.
know, and a lot of people don't realize that when you really can lose your stuff, it makes everything mean so much more, you know, so that the accomplishments you have in the game carry so much more meaning for you, and it makes it just so much more of an exciting game, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Um,
and to be honest, we don't have the same loss in Eve Echoes as in Eve Online.
no,
Which kind
unless you're
of,
doing
yeah.
blueprint research.
Oh fuck, dude. I did. Oh man, I lost so much money. No.
I've failed on a Barguest blueprint research twice now, and that's I could
Oh
have bought a
man.
capital ship with that much, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. That is, well, I manufacture B type from C types and
Ooh,
A
that's
types.
brutal.
And yeah,
Oh, I
recently,
can't even.
yeah.
I'm not rich enough to try A. You know.
No, I lost 4 A's.
Oh,
Dude,
I
yeah.
feel your pain.
And the funny part is that I got like 40, like doing B to A, I got 40%, I think, or 32, and C to B, I got 60% or something. And I failed 7 times in a row. Is that even possible? You know, I got so pissed off. So I
Oh
lost
yeah.
around 9 billion that evening. Yeah.
I really question their random number generator that they programmed in to compute these results,
Yeah.
because I really don't think I mean I haven't gone back through my like job history and calculated it, but it really feels like my failure rate is higher than it's supposed to be,
Yeah, mine too.
you know.
Definitely.
Or at the very least, I think it front loads failures. Like if you're supposed to succeed 40% of the time, they're going to make you fail the first five, you know, like they
Probably. But I
and
don't
before they
know.
start letting you succeed, you know.
Yeah. It just feels like I don't know, because luck and chance can be very it can be weird, and it's very hard to uh like, you can obviously try it like over and over and over, and you should be 40% luck, like you should have 40% chance of winning. But when you, like, I can't afford it to do it like 100 times to see if it's actually correct. But yeah, it's, you know, when you lose 3 or 4 times in a row, and you feel like, I'm not sure if I want to do this again, and then you do it one more time, and then you kind of succeed, and then you lose 4 times again. That's kind of the
It'll break you.
situation. Yeah, it does. And I mean, as I say before, like, I go out and I do PvP, and I don't care if I lose a ship. I had fun. But when I do this, it's not fun
Yeah.
at all.
I mean, so long as they're you really do get the success rate that is advertised, I think it's a fair system for a mass producer. You know, if you're going to produce
It might
10 or
be.
20, that failure rate is going to just come out in the wash as like a construction expense. But when you're just an individual and you're trying to make one, it's really somewhat of a broken system, you know, because
Yeah, yeah,
those fails can kill you, you know.
yeah,
Um, yeah. It's like, I don't know. I'd like to see them do something like blueprint insurance you could buy, you know, like just to get your
yeah, yeah,
materials back or something if you fail. And I
yeah,
think, I mean, like so I spent 7.5 billion in materials to try to make my Barghest blueprint. If I could have bought blueprint insurance for like 2 billion, I would have done it. It would have been worth it to me, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I think something like that would be good, especially if they priced it right so that a mass producer still wouldn't want to do it. They would just accept the failure rate. But the small individual trying to make one, it would be worth it to them, you know. That'd be my little golden idea to make that better in the game.
Yeah. I think it could be a good idea. I just don't like the insurance part. I would much more like, since let's talk C type to B type, for example,
Okay.
small guns or whatever. Then it's like 400 million. Let me see. No, that's medium. So yeah, maybe 350 million to like in one try. Now the expense is one item, and then it's a bunch of materials, and then it's just raw ISK. I would much rather have it so that I could maybe add more items, like pure items, so C-type items. So maybe 10 C-type items or 50 or whatever, and have a greater chance or have less cost for making it. That means if I do trade and I buy stuff for very good prices at times, I can then maybe build it cheaper because I was like thinking about it beforehand, and that would
Yeah,
have
that's a good idea too. You just keep adding raw materials at what
yeah
and then the odds get better and better. So if you want to accept those 70% risk, you can. But if you
yeah
don't, just keep adding more materials and the odds will keep improving. I mean, I think
yeah
that would be good too. Yeah, that's a great idea.
yeah,
You
and
know,
that way we get some items away from the market too, and that
because I
items will
I
go up
would have
in
just
price.
kept adding in more and more dues debris until I got my odds up to where I felt safe.
Yeah, I think they should have a limit, but like I don't know, 80%, 75% as a limit. I don't know.
I hope it was all right. I kind of changed subject. We were talking about like the real loss in the game and how that carries meaning, and then I just segued into talking about blueprint research. I get off topic a lot. I can go all over the place. That's kind of normal for me. But
That's good because I do the same. That's why I have a decent script that I try to follow.
yeah, I could start talking about like I don't know, Lincoln logs and end up talking about oranges. I don't know
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, we can talk about oranges. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I used to live in Florida, so
Oh man.
you never had an orange that's really good until you like picked one off the tree, and
Yeah.
just ate it immediately. That's like you gotta wait. You wait until the right point, but then that's just like the best orange.
Yeah, you made me want to try it.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You can get a little
Yeah.
orange tree and build it in a greenhouse.
Yeah, I have to do it.
You could, yeah. You actually could do it indoors. If you trim it, you can grow an orange tree. It's like 4 or 5 feet tall, so you could keep it indoors,
Oh,
and it would make some fruit once it's old enough.
all right. I'm not that like I don't have that kind of green fingers. I think I would kill a rock, but I would try.
Well, there you go. It's could be the chore for one of your children there as they grow older. They can be the
Yeah,
the
of
orange
course.
tree tender.
Maybe I have
You know.
I was gonna say a lap dance, but like a time lapse with orange tree grow on my YouTube. Like
That's a big change from lap dance
yeah,
to time
it's a
lapse.
bit different. I think I would
Yes.
go for
Well, it
the
could be the same. You could be lap dancing around the orange tree as it grows in the time lapse. I
yeah
would watch that. That would be entertaining.
yeah, not gonna be any branches. Only oranges on top.
Oh man.
All right, so okay. How does a day look in Eve Echoes for you?
Oh, well, usually at least one of my court members is trying to kill another one, so you have to manage the dispute. But I
Oh,
think every
really?
CEO or alliance member gets to deal with that every day. I think that kind of goes to the territory.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because anytime you run any group, just keeping everyone from killing each other is always step one. Um, But after that, I might go look around for some NDSs. I like to run those some, or maybe put a fleet together for dormant realms. Although usually if that's what I'm going to do for a day, I'll have arranged it in advance because that's always the best strategy with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, um, I usually, every once in a while I'll mine, but that's not usually my thing. Sometimes I'll just roam around and see if anything strikes my interest, or just look at whatever's going on in Corp chat or Alliance chat to see if anything interesting is happening.
Yeah, you take
Or
it as it comes,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
basically. I think my favorite thing is actually home defense. When you get an
Yeah.
alert,
Yeah.
Achieved is coming in his rock with his friends. So then you quick try to scramble a fleet,
No one
to
shows up.
defend.
People be like, no, I got dinner.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I'm that guy too sometimes. Like, if they're scrambling for a fleet, but I know I got to go in 10 minutes, I might just pass on this one,
Yeah.
unless it's like a real danger. I mean, if it's a real danger, like they've come for an armor timer or something, like you're probably going to find a way to be able to do it. But just people roaming through looking for content and, the girlfriend's calling or, something's happening, you might sit this one out, right? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
but
yeah,
that's,
I've said a couple of them out. What would you say? I had to not. What
yeah.
do you call
I
it?
mean,
Yeah.
real life comes first, right? I mean,
Yeah. Of course.
at the end of the day, it's a game, and I mean, I know some corps are really hardcore, and if that works for them, hey, that's great, but like with us and with the groups I've always been part of, we're really understanding, like, hey, we get it, real life comes first,
Yeah.
and I think that's going to facilitate a more enjoyable experience for most people, yeah, because if you make the game your life, there's only going to be a small subset of players that love that, and those players, they will find a corp that is what it's all about, and they will all be there, and they'll be really good, and they'll win lots of battles, and the game will be their life, and they'll be really fulfilled. But for most people, the game's a game you play to have fun, to escape from the drama of real life. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of how I see it.
That's how I want the game to be, and I want it to be perfect for even the most casual player there is in life. Like the guy who wanna go in for 5 minutes a day or 5 minutes a week. I want them to be able to actually play the game, to do something, right?
Yeah,
And even for the
def-
hardcore players. So I wish we get the updates that we
definitely.
need. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. I could write a wish list for NetEase. The thing that frustrates me the most with them is I know they want to be a different game than EVE Online, but there's
yeah,
nothing wrong with bringing the things that work well in EVE Online, the things people like. And there's a lot of things from EVE Online they could bring into the game. And I mean, from a development standpoint, a lot of the work's already done.
yeah,
It's been balanced, the graphics have been made, the lore was already written. All they got to do is recode it for mobile and bring it in, so it's kind of easy. They don't have to develop a lot of these things new, and we've been waiting 3 years for a lot of things.
yeah.
um I'm fine with them adding new things, like nano cores are a new thing. At least I never remember them when I played EVE Online. I don't know if they're
Nano
part of it
cores is
now.
fucking the shit, man. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it
But
gets kind of
yeah,
ridiculous expensive with the fifth and the sixth secondary attribute.
yeah, you don't need
Like
it,
most of
but
mine,
yeah,
I don't take past 3 because it's just too costly. But
yeah,
that's my choice.
yeah.
If
You
you
got a
want to
choice.
take it all the way to 6 attributes, and you want to spend the resources to do it, you can do that.
Yeah,
So there's nothing wrong with adding some new stuff. I'm okay with that, but I just want them to bring the good stuff that's in EVE Online that they haven't brought yet to Echoes.
yeah.
Like I
Give me
loved
some.
wormholes. Give me my
Oh,
Tech
yeah.
3 modular cruisers.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I like faction warfare in EVE Online a lot
Yeah.
better than what they have
Dude,
here.
why don't
You
we have
know,
that? That would be
um,
so good.
yeah, I'd rather, instead of having dormant realms, I would rather that be like level 5 wormhole sleeper dungeon you could go into when you're
Yeah.
in the level 5 wormhole. Because I think that's basically what the dormant realms are. They're the sites you would get in like a level 5, level 6
Yeah,
wormhole in EVE Online, you know. Um, I would rather just have that, so I could go throw my little POS in a wormhole and live in it. Yeah, like
that would
oh,
be
and like
nice.
give me heavy assault cruisers, like
Yeah,
they stopped the assault cruisers at tech level 6 basically. Like they give me a better thorax, or what is it, the Demos and the Phoebos or something like that
the
in EVE Online?
Phobos, right? Demos and
Yeah,
Phobos.
yeah. Like
Yeah,
where are those?
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Like,
uh,
yeah, more ships,
I mean,
man.
yeah, I don't know if I want Titans. Like, I don't even know if EVE
No.
Online thinks Titans was a good idea. I think they kind of regret ever bringing them. And there's some other things that, like, I know EVE Online, they kind of regretted how they did insurance, and that's part of the reason EVE Echoes has done it differently. So, okay. But I'm just saying, bring things that are good and work for sure in EVE Online, bring them to Echoes, like, and then add in some new stuff. That's fine. I would love, that's my biggest beef with NetEase, even more than all the whale events they love to do. I get it, they want to make money. I
Yeah.
think I could forgive them all the whale events if they just kept,
Give us,
also
yeah.
bringing in the good stuff at the same time.
Of course, like give us what we need, and you can have as much whale events as you like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
The only reason we
but it's
cry
just,
about whale events is because that's the only thing we have.
yeah, because every time they make a whale event, you think those hours that they paid a developer to design that whale event, they could have been paying a developer to bring me heavy assault cruisers. They could have been
Yeah.
paying a developer to code in like the real faction warfare like they have in EVE Online.
Yeah.
you know so it's like a missed opportunity. um yeah.
Man, I've been saying this for a long time. It's nice to hear you say it too.
oh I think a lot of people, I don't think we're alone.
No, 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 no.
Anyone that played EVE Online for any amount of time, and you remember those things that were good in EVE Online that they have never gotten around to bringing to Echoes. Like I
Yeah.
would love ammo, and I know they
Ammo,
wanted
yeah.
to bring ammo, like that was
Yeah.
in the plan initially. you know um
Yeah. I agree with ammo. I just it's like there's other things like how about incursions? Like
yeah.
how about you have an event every other month or every third month or something that we have to adapt to, uh, or that they can do something with lore. They can have this, they can make this a cinematic video that something is
hmm
happening. That would
like
bring so much people.
I used to love like the lore around the Jove. That was the most fascinating for me.
That's very
And you
cool.
could do
Yeah,
little things like just randomly have a Jove ship flying through Jita one day. You don't have to
yeah,
explain it. Just little interesting mysteries, or like,
yeah,
this one planet looks mysteriously different from all the others. These little things you could code in that just add a little bit of spice to things and variety. And occasionally, maybe you could tie these little tidbits into some kind of event. You don't always have to do.
yeah.
You
And
could leave some things a mystery, like your Tom Bombadil. If to pull in a Lord of the Rings thing. Like, I mean, you can leave some things unexplained. Just add these little different mysteries to make it intriguing, to interesting. In the lore and the story and the game.
yeah, and they wouldn't even have to announce it. They could just bring that Jove ship, or they could explode like that planet so that it looks
Yeah,
like in pieces, and we players would have noticed it and talked about it, and then it would have been a big conspiracy, and they would have just
yeah.
run with it and just added
And
more and
see, that
more. That would
conspiracy
have been
is drumming up
amazing.
interest.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
And, yeah, the best thing would be not to announce it. To make it be like just something we discover. You know.
yeah, of course. And I think that is a lot more interesting than ammunition. I do understand that ammunition would be nice, like you could haul it to like the Mission Islands and make some money, but like it's not that big of a
It would
deal,
help
really.
industry. You know.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a few things I think would help industry, like, but I mean that would be one. You know.
yeah,
I think the way insurance replaces everything hurts industry.
agree.
Like I used to
They
build
know it.
rigs, and rigs 100% of the time get replaced. So most rigs aren't worth anything anymore except for the new Tech 4 ones. And eventually over time, they won't be worth anything either. They should maybe make it so some rigs get destroyed and then you have to actually replace them.
I think they should destroy every item. Like when you die, you lose
Oh,
25%, and those 25% is in a can where people can loot it, and you don't get shit back. You have insurance for your hull, maybe.
Yeah.
I think that would be perfect.
Would help.
Yeah.
I think making the insurances buy orders be a little bit higher, maybe make insurance cost a little bit more. Instead of 30% of the value in IP, maybe more, and then the buy orders can be a little bit more, so it actually be worth it as a builder to sell to those buy orders. I think they made a mistake when they made Market have unlimited range visibility. I think that's why Jita is the only hub in Echoes.
Yep. Yeah.
Where in online you can only see like so many jumps or within your region.
Yeah, within a region, I think.
I think if they took rid of that unlimited market visibility, you'd start to see Amar really become a hub. You'd see like a Galente hub, a Mimitar hub. These other hubs would then come to life. I think that's the biggest reason in Echoes. Yeah,
it's so easy for them to change that too.
I know. Yeah.
And most
that one would be an easy fix.
Yeah, most people would be in low sec or in no sec, and they'd be searching for a rattlesnake, and they don't find anything, and they search for maybe some other ship, right? Then wanna okay, maybe I take a MOA. Oh, there's a MOA over there, like 35 million. Like, what is it in Jita? I don't know, maybe 30, and then it's like 15 in Jita, but they don't have a clue. So that makes it so that people can fly around and sell stuff everywhere. And that would be really nice. Also talking about market, I think now I got 555 in market, and it's still a bit expensive.
Oh, I agree.
To be honest.
My first career in EVE Online, when I first played, I played it twice for 3 years each time. But the first time I played was pretty early on, like 2006.
Yeah.
And my first career was being a trader. And I lived in the Galente hub, because I wasn't a big enough fish to play in Jita.
Yeah.
But I made my living buying low and selling high.
In Dodixie.
Yeah. Well, actually, back then it was Ocelart.
Oh.
Dodixie, the Galente hub shifted to Dodixie over time. Early on, it was Osulart.
Maybe I can't even remember that because I wasn't a trader back then.
It's 1 or 2 jumps away from Dodixie, but it was because it's a system with like 17 stations, and they're all like industry stations. Because you know how in EVE Online you need to have build slots to build stuff. So Osulart was a place where a lot of stuff was built, and that's why it became the trade hub for Galente early. But Dodixie was the place where you could do a lot of Galente missions. So over time, it kind of shifted to Dodixie. Because when I returned and played the game later, because then I played again from like 14 to 16, by then the hub had shifted to Dodixie for Galente. So it's kind of interesting how that organically happened, which is somewhat blocked in Echoes because we have the ITC thing versus the regular station thing.
Yeah. Who uses the ITC? Is it only alphas?
Yeah, I think alphas are locked. They can only buy and sell in ITCs, and if I remember right.
Yeah.
Or they might be able to buy something elsewhere, but they can't sell unless it's an ITC. It might be that.
I really hope that they can buy anywhere. But I mean, we do know how bad of a situation alphas have it in this game. It's like you can't play as an alpha really. They should loosen that up, definitely.
You can get a feel for the game. You can do some NPC stuff, but usually when we have like an alpha join our corp, the first thing is to try to help them make money so they can afford at least a basic Omega.
Yeah.
Because that's when the game really opens up for them.
Yeah, basic should be like minimum. To be honest, yeah.
Usually it's like, hey, run these missions, you can make more money. Or just come tag along with me in a pod. You can help. You can take half the bounties. You you do different things to help the alphas out to get their first Omega like that, especially if they seem like they're going to be a good active player,
Yeah. And if you remember back, like when did you start play this game?
I played Echoes from the start, day
Okay.
one.
Okay, so day one, remember, like 1 month in, we had maybe, I don't know, I had 6 million ISK, I think, and most was invested in Plex. But
That
it's
was a
like
very
six.
smart move.
Yeah. So 6 million or something. I had that after a month, and I could buy myself a cruiser. I think it was like 9 million or something. I can't remember. And remember, people who start today, this event that we have, which is, I mean, it's not the best event, but it's pretty cool. But every day you get these 3 boxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've got these boxes every time during these 2.5 years. But these boxes are different because we would get implants, like implant injectors or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And now and then, like each and like every other day, I get some injectors like 18 million, like 30 million. And if you're an alpha and you just keep logging in today, or like during this event, you could probably rack up a good amount of ISK if you were a bit lucky. So I think
Oh
that's a
yeah,
good one. Yeah, that's a good event.
you're right. That is different. I hadn't thought about that. The one
Yeah,
I noticed where they gave a lot away was the 1 year anniversary. A lot of the stuff they did then, they gave away a lot,
yeah.
and I turned around and sold it and used it to buy more months of my subscription. I think I got like an extra 6 months on my account from all the stuff they gave away
Yeah.
at the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, that part is
I
good. I
remember
think,
when
yeah.
Plex was 7,000, and I regret. It's like Bitcoin. I wish, it's like,
Yeah,
oh, I
Plex.
remember when Plex was 7,000. I remember when Bitcoin was $2. I wish I'd have bought a lot of it.
Shit, yeah. But you did play EVE Online. Should like you would have known, right? Because I put everything
I
into
sh
Plex.
I should have. I should have known.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to go up that high. I thought they would do things. I thought they would try to keep it around 1 million. I thought they would, you know, do things to keep the market suppressed to keep it at about 1 million.
Oh,
But they
interesting.
don't.
My friend said the same thing when Plex went up to like 50, 60,000. He's
Mhm.
like, yeah, I'm not gonna buy anything more. I think it's not gonna go up anymore. I was like, well, we're making this kind of money now, and we're like Tech 6, I think. And I was like, wonder what happens with T8, T9, like the missions. So it's gonna be at least triple the money, and then you have T10, and that's gonna be at least triple this. And I was like counting, and I was like, yeah, it's gonna go at least over 3 million. And he's like, oh, you're stupid. That's gonna be way too expensive. And I was like, yeah, and that's why everyone's gonna pay, because they're gonna go as high as they need for people not to buy with ISK. So I
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
I think I said like 4 million at the end. Like, yeah, it's gonna go 4 million. So I bought it. I kept buying Plex until
I
almost a
mean,
million. And yeah,
you were
it's almost
wise.
4.
I
Yeah.
was I was too busy saving money to fit my thorax back then.
Yeah, I was cheap. I was so cheap, man. It's like, 3 more Plex here. Nice.
Yeah.
But
I,
yeah.
the biggest thing now that drives it up, I think, is their events because they'll bring out a new event and it'll have a new fancy nano core, implant, whatever it is, and then a certain percentage of the players will dust off their credit card
Yep.
and they will, and that drives Plex. Every time there's a new
Yep.
event, Plex, whoosh.
Yeah, it goes down and then it goes up. And then it will go down most of the time again. And I'm not sure, there's this event now, if you pay a lot of money, you will get some Plex back. There's some kind of event now, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I
Uh
saw that.
yeah,
Yeah, you get a
so
rebate.
yeah, rebate. Yeah. And when that is, I don't know. But when that happens, prices are gonna go down because people are gonna have Plex. So they're gonna sell it off. So that's a good time to buy it, because before this event we were almost at 4 million each. And it's gonna go back up.
There you go. You heard it here first from Achieved.
Yeah.
Market tip. You know.
Yep. Yep. That's. But it's like it's also like if you buy it now at around 3 million, it go up to 4. Maybe in a year, it might go like 4.5, maybe 5. It's still not that much money if you invest, right?
Yeah,
There's
it's not terrible. If you're doing the right things to earn money in the game, it's not too terrible. You know.
It's not too terrible, but there's better things to invest in if you wanna make some more
One thing I
money. But
noticed
yeah,
in this event is, anytime you buy a chest, you get a chance of getting these special extra things, right?
yeah, yeah,
But did you notice that the really good special extra things only are possible with the chests you get from Aurum?
yeah,
The
yes,
chests you can get with ISK, the chests they give you free daily, the chests that you can
yeah.
get with
No, no, no.
Plex, they only have like the second tier extra possible stuff, you
Yeah, I
know.
know.
Uh, I think they should still, I mean, the odds are so low of some of those premium things. They should
Yeah,
let those be possible even with the other chests, you know.
yeah. I don't know. Like, there's a
Um,
lot of accounts. I mean, I do know people with 50 accounts, so they get 50 draws every
wow.
day. I think. Yeah, I don't know about this. I think they did the right thing, to be honest here. But
Well,
I think the rates are way too low. I think if you pay money in the game, you should get some shit. You shouldn't go empty-handed if you put like $100 in the game. I think you should get some stuff.
yeah.
But yeah,
And they think they should also think about the market a little. Like I was building Tech 4 rigs. That was one of the things I was doing, and the fact that they're giving away Tech 4 rigs with this
yeah,
has just killed that market.
yeah. It's
They're
dumb. It's dumb.
like you go look at laser collision accelerator 4s, and they're trading for like 250 million. Well, it
Yeah, buy
costs
them.
like 700 million to build the thing.
Yeah, just buy it. Buy it and
They've
sell
just
it
given
later.
they've given so many away for free that it's killed it for you had a little piece of industry that was working, and
Yeah, I know.
they've totally kneecapped it, you know.
And yeah, and as you say, they should learn from EVE Online. EVE Online did this mistake recently. Like when I say recently, I mean maybe a year ago. They they had it so that if you came back or if you made an account on EVE Online, you also got like a coveter or something. I don't know. So you got a free ship, and the community got furious. It's like, we didn't build that ship, man. Why are you giving away free ships? So yeah, um,
Yeah,
it's a
it'd be
bad
better
thing.
if they gave away money,
Yeah,
like
so you can
give
use
you
it in the
ISK,
market.
so that laser collision accelerator used to be like 1.3 billion to buy. So I would rather you get 1.3 billion as the special extra prize instead of a free laser collision
Yeah,
accelerator,
yeah,
because then you can turn around and buy it, and that industry person building it still gets that industry is still good. You know,
I
that
agree.
would be the better thing. Yeah,
I think so. Like, they don't like to give away ISK, but I think that's a really neat idea. Um, and I think the
yeah, I think
Aurum, you should be able to get Aurum in the game, um, from events. So instead of
yeah,
getting Plex, you get Aurum. That would have been better because if even if you have 50 accounts, you still had to do some shit, to get the Aurum.
yeah. And I mean, if they want to give away items, so long as they're careful and to only give away a small enough amount that it's not going to affect the market, I think that would be okay. Um, but I mean,
Maybe.
with the amount of players, I think that obviously, like with this example, the Tech 4 rigs, too many get given away, so it damages or destroys the market for those rigs.
Yeah.
So it's not their giveaway is not balanced because it's hurting the game in that way. You know,
Yeah, it sure is.
yeah.
What do you feel? What do you feel about the implants?
I think I I I hate dormant realms. It's almost like they were designed to cause unhappiness. Players are unhappy because they can't get a fleet together. Players are unhappy because they don't fly capital ships, so half the dormant realms are basically blocked for them. Players are unhappy because they're an indie player, they're a mining player. There's no way for them to get the implants other than making enough money to buy them on the market.
Yeah, but
It's
there's
like
no implants for mining anyway. So
yet.
Yet, I don't know.
There wasn't nanocores for mining at first either.
No, I know.
But yeah, but like, so like to me, being a CEO, I get those unhappy people all the time. So
yeah,
it makes me bitter, you know.
Yeah, I know.
I think they should have some kind of dormant realms for smaller ships because you're also boxing out newer players. I had a phone call coming in real life.
Okay.
I hit ignore. Yeah. So yeah, so they should have made some dormant realms specific for smaller ships. You can make challenging high-end dungeons for cruisers or frigates or destroyers. You know, you don't have to make them battleship fleet only. I also wouldn't mind if they had like dormant realms that an individual could do. You know, maybe because sometimes it is hard to get a fleet together on a given day. You know, especially because getting those nightmare pilots because for those of you that don't know, any dormant realm fleet worth its salt is going to have a nightmare and 3 other battleships, or if it's a nightmare and 3 capital ships for the bigger ones, I guess, because you need that protective bubble. So getting those pilots, online at the right time, sometimes it can be challenging, and then people get frustrated.
You can do what, like 5 or 6, up to 7 you can do without a nightmare, right? I think I did 7 with 3 Dominixes and a rattlesnake.
You could, yeah, you probably could, but I wouldn't do it above 4 without a nightmare.
Maybe it was 4.
If you all really, really have your stuff together, yeah, you could probably push it farther. But lots of times, not everyone's going to be an elite level player. So
of course
it's good to be able to hunker in under that bubble, right?
Yeah, of course.
And I don't like how the new thing they added where you only get the 10 runs a week. Because
it's also so stupid. Limiting the time to play, that's bad.
I think what it's doing is exactly what my corporation was starting to do. Was we were putting together carry fleets. So hey, mining guy, hey, new player, tag along in the frigate, and we got a strong enough fleet of 3 we can carry you through. So you can get that free implant at level 4 for your first run. You get that free implant at level 7 for your first run.
Yeah.
But I think NetEase is like, oh, we don't like that. We want people to buy that Aurum box to get the implant. So we're going to limit it to 10 a week. So the pro players can't carry the weaker players or can't carry the industry players. We want them to have to. I think that's what NetEase is thinking, because why else would they limit it?
They don't think far enough ahead. Like if you're carrying people in your corporation, that is like you're bonding. It's something that like you get friends and you don't want to quit a game where you have all your friends. So friends are going to keep you. And so I think it's a bad thing that they did.
They do a lot of moves that I think are short-sighted. They go for that make $1 a day rather than make 50 cents a day for the next year.
Yeah.
I know, for you, I should say euro, right? They make €1 a day. So
yeah, true. Well, to be honest, we don't have euro here. We got krona.
Oh yeah, so. You got kroner, right? Yeah.
But yeah, I do get it. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Yeah, I think. Oh man, I've done so many videos about like what they could do that would make the game just amazing, and it's just like small things. And I've made videos where they could change big stuff and really like take like double the amount of people playing today and like just doubling it overnight. And I don't know, it's like I'm not sure if they even watch like Benzi's or my videos or Geek-Ass videos. I don't know. It's like they don't have.
I don't know if they do anymore.
Interest.
I think they did early on. I think they had a person that would monitor that, but I don't know if they still do.
Yeah. We are gonna have AMA in December with Eve Echoes with NetEase. so we can ask some questions. I'm not sure if you participated in the earlier ones.
No, I haven't, but
Yeah, that's actually
I
very
saw
good.
this one, but
Yeah.
I also saw that they asked, "What would you like us to talk about?"
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it sounds like they're going to do some gatekeeping on what subjects they want to talk about, rather than a true ask me anything. It doesn't sound like it's really going to be anything. They're probably going to choose a few topics.
Like it's only 4 alternatives that you can pick, but it's going to be free to ask questions. Like the last AMA they had, it was mainly, I think it was PvP and capital or something, and people just kept asking about inventory, asked about like whatever, and they kept answering. So I think it can be really good.
I'd love station containers.
Yeah, we
That'd
all
be
would.
such an easy thing to add.
Dude,
I
that's
don't know
so
why they don't.
easy. Oh,
Yeah.
we've been asking for that for 2 years, like staging containers and naming our ships, please, because I would like to.
Oh yeah.
Because I have
I used to
several
like
of the same.
remember that little bio? Like you could do a bio in EVE Online.
Oh, I love
Just
it.
like a little
Yeah,
paragraph. Yeah, I would love that, you
yeah.
know.
That can't be too
Uh,
hard to do.
no, it wouldn't be hard at all. I also wish they'd fixed sensor dampeners. I don't think
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't think they're
that could use
working
some love.
properly.
No, because they're meant to be like, well, online, ships have a limited targeting range. Like maybe you can
Yes,
only target within 60 kilometers. So that sensor damp shortens it. It forces
yes,
the enemy ship to come in close, right?
yeah,
That's why they're the Galente E-War, because the Galente love close in
of course.
combat. But in Echoes, they decided to give everyone unlimited targeting range. So sensor dampeners kind of lost most of their purpose, as a
Well,
result.
yeah, I think they make so that your guns hit shorter, right? I think it
Maybe, and if
yeah.
you can if you get one on someone before they have targeted you, before they've locked you, it slows down their speed to lock you.
Yeah, but
Um,
that is that's like a minor thing. But yeah, yeah, having two
yeah.
and forcing people like hiders to get close. I'm
Oh
not sure
yeah.
that works because I've tried that so many times and they still shoot me. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure how good it
I
is.
just
It's.
it's probably the one of the lesser used E-War items, I think.
Yeah, but then you have the neutralizers. They also have a optimal and fall off, right? They have
Yeah.
optimal at what is it, 30, and they have a fall off at 20 or 25. That means 5 kilometers and closer, you shouldn't be able to neutralize as good, but they
Mm.
neutralize just as good. So it doesn't matter how close they are.
Cap warfare is kind of a little bit overpowered in Echoes,
Yeah, it
you
is.
know.
Yeah.
Um, I think if they introduced cap injectors, that would help balance that out.
Oh, that would
You
be
know.
nice. I haven't thought about those in years, dude. Cap
Yeah, because if
injectors.
that ash is on my vigilant or something, and I've got enough cap injectors, I can stay alive, right? I mean, you're sacrificing a low spot to have that cap injector, so
Yeah.
you're hurting what your tank could be, which is what it's supposed to be about. Like
Yeah.
Benzie loves to say, it's giving you a choice, an active choice,
Yep.
and that
Yep.
choice is what's going to make your ship win or lose.
We need
And
choices.
then, you could help industry because they would build the little batteries that
Yep.
people would have to buy to load the cap injectors.
Yeah. Pretty much like ammunition.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Have something that takes away the minerals. But yeah, sure, we got the jump gates now. They're expensive as hell. But I
Yeah.
think it's not enough. We need. I'm not sure. It's like the jump gates are built by maybe 20 people in the game, and sure they put a lot of money into it. But what if we could have 1,000 players making batteries, right? Making ammo.
Hmm.
Um, that would definitely change minerals and
It would
items.
be something that an industry thing that would be accessible to a low end player who's like tech level 5, 6, 7,
Yeah.
But you're right. A lot of the new things we have had added are things for capitals or structures
Yeah.
that, only at like is being built on like the corp or alliance level.
Yeah, true. And
Um,
and we don't like we only see the alliance, like what we have in the alliance. We see what Jita has, but we have a ton of alliances. Like there's
mm,
so much more than what you see in Jita in the game. So yeah, we need something. I saw, like we talked a little bit earlier, you and me, and you said you want changes to the jump rider. You want them to be cheaper.
oh yeah. I
How
mean, if you
expensive are
think
they?
about it, they're more expensive. You could buy like 2 dreadnoughts. You could buy like, and by
So
buy I mean
70?
how many capital components it takes to build, not the market price. You know, like you can build a carrier for in the ballpark of 63 capital components, but a jump freighter is over 120 capital. I think it's like
Oh damn.
155 capital components for a jump freighter. And if you think about that in real life, that's like a cargo ship taking 2.5 times what an aircraft carrier takes. I mean,
Yeah.
something's not balanced right there.
It should be bigger. The jump rider
Yeah,
should be twice as big in the
well,
space. That would be awesome.
yeah, that would be, yeah, make it worth that price.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
like I just think like the right area for them would be more than a freighter costs because it's a freighter with a jump drive strapped to it, so it makes sense it would be more. And for those that don't know, a freighter is around 35 capital components, but less than a carrier because an aircraft carrier is with all its warfare systems
Yeah, it should be
in real
expensive.
life, this is
Yeah.
going to cost more than any cargo ship, no matter how fancy that cargo ship is. So somewhere between the amount of capital components a carrier takes and how many capital components a freighter takes is
Yeah.
where a jump freighter should be, you know.
Yeah. Do you
Like they
like
they
yeah.
you could build a Rokel cheaper.
Oh
And
really?
like yeah, a Rokel is around 120 capital components. And a Rokel
Makes
can
money.
hold 400,000 ore. The ore jump freighter can only hold 135,000.
Yeah, that's something I
So
don't yeah.
nobody's going to build the ore jump freighter
That's
because an
stupid.
Oracle is better and it
Yes.
has a
Yeah.
shorter jump range. But unless you live somewhere where the jump range just has to be a little bit farther than a Rokel can do, that might be the only person that builds the ore jump freighter.
Which
You
one is
know,
the ore one? Is the
I don't
Galente?
know the name of it. No, I think the Galente one is minerals.
All right.
You know,
And the
it might be
arc,
the Mimitar one. No, I think
the
that's the structure one.
structure one arc.
Um,
Damn it, I want the arc one. I don't want to move
it,
structures, man.
yeah, it looks cool. That's the one I
Yeah,
wanted
I
too.
love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had
and
the
in
other.
EVE Online, I
Yeah,
had the Amar, freighter, so I wanted the Arc.
yeah, I had the
But I
Omar
mean,
in here.
I'm not going to be flying around with 10 POSs in my hold. Like there's probably less use for that
But
one than any of them.
just fly in high sec and be a boss, man.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, are you? Would you like to have the special ships that we have in EVE Online into EVE Echoes? I'm talking about the for example the Alliance tournament ships, stuff like that. Really, really juicy
Oh,
ships. Would that be
I
something
mean,
that you would like?
if we're talking like something like for a big reward or a big event prize, and there's only like 1 to 4 of these in the game,
Yeah,
I would be fine with that. But I would also make them uninsurable.
uninsurable and tradable, of course.
I wouldn't mind if it's tradable so long as it's uninsurable, because then there's
It should
still only 4 or 5 in the game.
be
You
tradable, so
know?
you can trade it, sell it,
Yeah, yeah,
because that would be. I would go for try to get everyone. It's a
yeah,
collection ship, right?
yeah.
We have this. I can never remember what it's called, but it's you when you do missions. You can get a story ship for example, a cursor or anything of that sort that is a bit greenish.
Like the how the Fed Navy is green,
No,
like
yeah, I'm
our
thinking. Hold on,
Republic Fleet is green.
let me log in. No, not that green. It's not faction green. It's for example, this one, stabber modified. If you got a modified stabber and you modified cursor.
Is that in? I don't know what you're talking about. Is
Oh,
that
you
in
don't know?
online or is
Yeah,
that in
no.
Echoes?
It's on Evecos. It's a ship that without skin has a different skin. It's
Okay.
modified and changed in some areas for the better and some areas for the worse. But I thought, what if when we craft, like when we build, for example, a prophecy, there's like 1% chance that you get a modified prophecy, which is a little bit greenish, like this one's,
Oh,
and
that'd be an
they
interesting
are
wrinkle.
uninsurable, and they get a modified option. For example, like one extra mid slot or one extra low slot or more damage to drones or whatever. Something weird, which and they're uninsured and tradable. That would be
cool.
awesome. Like, yeah, you just imagine you're building a Macarial or a Vindicator and you get it modified and you get a good modification on it. Dude, what a price ship, man. That would
I mean, so long as it's not something, as long as the modifications isn't something that makes it just out of balance, way too overpowered.
It could be like, what is out of balance? Like one more low slot, that would be amazing. But I mean, you would still die, right?
Well, if it's going to be real overpowered like that, yeah, definitely not insurable then.
Of course not. Of course not insurable. And yeah, and the kill marks, of course, is going to be on it. So
I wish other people could see your kill marks.
Yeah, it's kill marks is stupid today. But
yeah, other people could see it.
Yeah.
A different kill mark for industry ship versus combat ships, and a different kill mark for pods too.
Yeah, or no kill mod, or no kill.
Because it's if you got 100 kill marks, but they were all Venture 3s.
Yeah.
I'm not going to think the same of you as if you have 100 kill marks and they were all combat cruisers. Those are two totally different players.
Yeah, well, if you see on EVE Online, when you die with your ship, you lose your kill marks too.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, and you can trade your ships with kill marks in EVE Online. So that is also one thing. Like, if the kill marks would disappear when you die, you could sell a Raven with 100 kill marks for a lot more than a Raven without a kill mark, which would also be a type of price ship.
I could see that, but I still want there to be a record for the player, not just the ship. But I mean, I guess we have that outside.
I
of the
think
game.
you could have,
their kill marks, and,
like an API that tracks your kills. Yeah, I think that would be cool too.
You know what else you made me think of when you were talking about like the building and the industry? There is almost like each ship could have like a title, like a certificate that you could look at, and you could name the ship, like you said, like give your ships names, but you also could like built by, because I think like the industry players would feel that's really cool, because then like my co-CEO is a big industry player, so she could say built by Krizak, and it'd be on all the ships she built.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Like a real point of pride. Like, this ship was built by this person.
Yeah,
yeah. And actually, if people got known and famous in the game, and so they built some things, then it would be for you. It'd be prestige. Like, oh, my Raven was built by Achieved, and so that makes that cooler.
Achieved's A-type.
Like,
like what we're talking about now, people are gonna love to listen to this, but and we are way over time, so I'm gonna make an exception to this one. This is gonna be longer because we just keep talking. But what we're talking about now is some small modifications, or maybe not the modified ships. That might be a bit harder to make. But imagine having this, and how that opens up. Like, if you start the game and you just became a basic Omega, and you start building your cursors, for example, and you get a modified cursor that has an extra low slot, like the jackpot
Mm.
that you get, and it's like instead of 3 million, you can maybe get like 130, maybe 300 million to the right buyer. That would that would keep people playing this game and trying stuff. And
Yeah.
I would do my A types. I would lose that money, and it would be okay because I have
And
my
how
name
cool
on
would
it,
it be
right?
if you built something, you know,
Yeah.
you built this ship, you built a rifter, because we've made rifters better, so they're actually worth flying in the game, you know. And on that, there's the little certificate built by Achieved. And 10 years from now, if that ship hasn't been blown up, you know that somewhere out there, someone has that ship that you built that has that little built by Achieved, right?
Yeah.
You know, that'd be a real point of pride, and you'd feel cool, like you made something in this game that's out there. I mean, right now the only thing like that is naming corporate outposts, right? Because that
Yeah.
name
Yeah.
stays, you know. Um, so you'd have your name stamped on something that you made, you put into the universe, and as long as it ain't blown up, it stays in the game. Like, you know, that would be
Yeah.
cool. You know,
That would be really nice. And it would be so much more for people to do, and people would take pride in what they do. Um, yeah, damn, that this game would have been awesome. Just imagine, dude. I'm getting goosebumps. Shit, that would be so good. Oh
yeah, just like
man,
little things like that make the game have like a lot more meaning and resonance with people. You know, being able to
for
put your
sure.
little bio in, name your ship, um, little personal touches, all the little things you could do to add mystery to the game, like randomly in Jita, Jove's ship flew by one day. This planet, you know, a lot of these
Yeah,
things we've talked about over the course here are little things that would just make the game resonate and have so much more meaning to people.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. I
I
really
mean,
think so.
yeah, like, and you can still have your whale event to squeeze some money.
Yeah, that
Although
would be
I
fine.
really don't need another like little 10 on 10 fight thing, you know, like
No,
there's a million games I can play where I get put in a little game where it's a 10 on 10 match or something. I'm not playing Eve for that. You know, I can go play World of
yeah,
Tanks if I want that. You know, I don't, you know, I can play, you know, any number of first person shooters if I want that.
yeah.
You know, that's not why I'm here. You know,
You had
that's
to
but
build
that's, you
something.
know, that's a little more involved because that's like bringing in a faction war system like they have in Eve Online. You know, but you know, I'm just saying, don't put your development time towards building me another 10 on 10 arena. I don't need it. Just put your
No,
development time towards these other things we've talked about, you know, because those would, and a lot of them would be simple, easy things that would carry so much more meaning for players, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
If they just made one of them, one of these
Yeah.
things, that would be
Yeah.
crazy.
Please, NetEase, if you're listening, put a developer with a little bit of code and give them some hours on the clock to bring in some of these little simple changes, you
Yeah.
know.
And we will buy the Veil event. Trust us, we will buy that because we like the game.
Yeah.
We will
Yeah.
get more money. But damn, I had something. Yeah, I lost the thought there. Man, that would be so good. But the DIR events and all this stuff that they do, it's a way for them to test stuff, and I'm just waiting for them to put it into the game. Um, the 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 like PvP that we had that we could invite and do PvP. The what was it like battle arena that we had? I thought that was
Yeah.
amazing in the beginning, and the way that you could do it for free to like with friends. Of course, there was some stuff that you could change, but they felt it was good enough, and I started doing the cloaky variant. I went in with my rattlesnake cloaked. I just
Mm.
waited for the timer, and then I just tanked like the bubble more than the other
Oh
guy, and I
man,
went.
I would have hated that.
Yeah, well, because I started out not doing that, and everyone else started doing the bumping game, so they bumped you out. And I was like,
Mm.
dude, this is not fair, right? And they said it's fair. And I was like, okay, so I do this
I
one.
like I like those a little bit, but I think those like too quickly they just devolve into like a meta. Like this is the one thing that works And if you're not doing that one thing, you're just going to lose all your matches, you know.
That's
I'd
why it
rather
should
have
be
something like
different.
around online. I don't know if they still do it, but for a while you could like challenge people to a duel in
Yeah,
online.
yep.
Yeah, but that was out in real space and real in the game.
Yeah,
Oh, and
yeah.
remember how in online you could declare war on other corporations and then you could
Yes.
shoot them in high sec, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
That might be interesting, spice things up a bit, you know.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've talked about that too, and I do agree that Eve Echoes being a mobile game should have some more security, but I think the um, the war declaration thing should be something that we could do. Like for example, we could war declare against someone, and they could just say yes or no. You know,
Mm.
not doing it as a force, but doing it like, okay, we got a beef, you and I. How about we have a war? And they say yes. If they don't want to war, if they want to be totally safe, that should be fine. That should be possible in this game, I think, in high sec. But I think, yeah,
Or
I
there's you
think,
could do like a limited war. Like for this price, you can do a war deck, and then you're allowed to attack these types of things only. For this larger price, you can do a war deck where you get to attack everything, and then maybe they have to agree to it too, like you said, that
yeah, I think,
you could do
yeah.
a lot of different variables there.
But yeah,
Um,
yeah, I think so. I think I it's important to keep some people safe. There are people in high sec that just want to do high sec, just want to do high sec mining,
yeah,
hauling, and they should be safe. They are
yeah.
already limited to what they gain in terms of ISK. But for example, if Void goes to war with someone else, they could actually like, okay, we're at war. How about we go at like for real? So now we can shoot each other in high sec too, because now it's
Yeah.
war, and then it's a real war. It's not just in in no sec. It's actually in high sec.
It could make a fun wrinkle for even like people that are like your frenemy,
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
people like you don't go try to conquer their space, you don't go try to blow up their stations, but you go have fun fights against them. They come to your space and have fun fights. It'd be kind of fun to have those fun fights also in high sec, you
yeah.
know.
If both
Um,
agree to it, and I think that like
yeah,
some people told me like they're just not gonna agree to it, and it's like why not? It's content. They're gonna have fun. We do the PvP anyway, you know.
yeah.
Or maybe if you shoot down a station in, like now we're taking it a bit further, but for example, if you decide to go to war with another alliance and you go over and you shoot down their station, how about when you do that, the alliance that does it gets a criminal act, and that puts the corporation and the alliance on a criminal timer against that alliance for a week. So then
Or you
they're
could make it like if
automatically
they blow
red.
up your station, you get a free war deck against them
Yeah,
at
or something. Yeah, why not?
reduced
Or
price
it's
or
automatic.
something.
Or it's
Yeah.
automatic. Like you did it. So now everyone, you have to tell everyone in the alliance that be safe in ISAC. We just killed one of their stations. Something
Yeah.
like that. I think it would be, everyone would love it.
The only
You know,
downside I see with that is people would move all their industry players into different corps. You'd have so that way the industry people would never fall victim to that war deck. Um,
oh, that's a clever idea. But
yeah, so
well,
that part
well,
that ramification would be less desirable, I suppose.
maybe
Um,
people always find
yeah,
ways, man.
they
But
do.
yeah,
They
yeah,
do. You know. One thing I just thought of earlier when you asked me about implants, one thing I had really had to circle back here, because
yeah,
um one thing that I had really thought and had high hopes for implants was I wanted them to make pods worth something. Because I hate how suicide is a mode of
yeah.
transportation in Echoes.
I
Like
agree.
your clone and your pod mean nothing to most people. And the thought, like I thought when people had their implants, if your pod was destroyed, you know,
Yeah,
then your implant would be gone. Like, or at the very least, like it could, I'd like something like that. I want pods to mean something. It's kind of messed up that, I'm gonna blow myself up so I can go to Jita fast or something, or
Yeah,
go home from Jita. I don't like that. That's not a good part of the game. I want it to mean something, like maybe you could make it, like losing your pod damages your implants, and then you need to repair them more, make it
something.
so that that pod means something to people.
Yeah,
I think that would be a good wrinkle to add to the game,
I
you
think
know.
so too. And the fact that we got jump clones out of the blue just before implants, I was 100% sure that
Yeah,
okay, I'm not gonna be able to just go out PvP and then be like, can you pod me home? It's gonna
yeah.
be that's gonna be terrible. They're like
I
terrible.
mean, when
And I
we
was like,
first got
yeah,
jump clones, I told my co-CEO, I'm like, implants are coming, because why else would they do jump clones?
yeah.
But
I said it too.
yeah, yeah.
And
It
that
was a telegraphed move, we could
yeah,
predict it.
yeah.
But then they went and made it so your implants magically survive, and they don't really seem to. I mean, you get a little wear on them from using them, that you need to regenerate them. But I don't think if you get
No.
potted, they take damage, and
No, no, no.
yeah.
But yeah, I was banking on that, and I even made my own implant video where
Mm.
said, "This is what we're gonna get, guys," and I made it for a laugh because like this, it's not gonna be this bad, and it got worse. I don't know. My implants were really good, even though I wouldn't like them. But yeah, so
I
I
also
don't
wish
know.
they made more of them tradable. Like
Yeah,
some
why
of the
not?
free implants I got from my first runs in the Dormant Realms are for weapons I never use. So I wish I could sell them,
Yeah, the
because
blue
like,
ones, right? No, no,
yeah,
the green ones or blue ones.
both.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
like for instance, I don't fly any cannon ships. I've got no skills in cannons, but yet I got blue and green cannon implants, and I can't trade them.
yeah,
Maybe sometime in the future I'll decide I'll want to trade it, but I'd rather just be able to sell them because I don't use them.
yeah,
Instead
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you can reprocess them, but I
Oh, that would be
mean,
good.
you can do that. You can reprocess them, and you get the little fibers or whatever. But I mean,
Okay.
you get so few, it's not worth doing. I've been holding on to them in hopes that maybe eventually they'll let them be tradable, and then I could sell them. But
Yeah, keep them.
uh,
Maybe that
yeah.
happens. Um, I I have no problem with like I do have problem with implants, but I don't have a problem with them being so hard to level up. It's just that you
Mm,
can buy it and level that up. So unless you put money into it, you are gonna get your ass whipped, right? Um,
yeah.
so easy. And the fact like I'm not pushing my implants. I got 3 or 4 of them. I got 2 or 3 to 15 with pretty much free stuff, I think. But now after 15, you cannot even use the green ones anymore. So now I have to use
Mm,
like the purple ones. And they're expensive and I can't get them in
they
the
are.
game, just like that.
I think I think most people probably 15. You can get most implants to 15. It's not too hard.
Yeah, 15 is
But
fine.
pushing beyond level 15, it starts to get real expensive real fast, you know.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And so I don't think everyone will do that. Um, I do think some of the implants could use some balancing. There's some that are overpowered out there for sure. But they'll figure that out, hopefully, cross your fingers, and they'll, bring them back down to reality.
Yeah, I hope so.
Like I hear that one of the laser implants, I can't remember which one,
The
but
pause one,
everyone
the
tells me like one of the focus crystal, that
yeah.
one's overpowered, everyone says,
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh
so
yeah.
maybe like, nerf that one a little bit to bring it into balance, um, that could probably be good, but I mean, that one I'm not even going to fault NetEase for. It's something new they brought to the game. Whenever you bring something
Yeah,
new,
yeah.
there's probably going to be some things that are a little not balanced right. you collect data over time and you figure that out and then you balance it out. So implants are pretty new. I'm not going to fault NetEase for that per se, but if they don't have it balanced 6 months from now, then I would fault them because by then they've got enough data. They should have balanced this out,
Yeah.
Um,
They should have
oh, and they
made, yeah.
also, I wish they'd let me reprocess those containers I get for logging in each day.
Oh man,
Even if it just gave me like some titanium, something. I've
they
probably
do
got
change.
thousands in my
Yeah,
fingers.
they have. Yeah, they are gonna make it. They're gonna make
I
something
don't
with
need
it.
prototype rigs.
No, but
I'm going to say it. I don't need any prototype rigs. I don't care what kind they are. I'd rather have one titanium.
yes,
Like let me reprocess these things.
yeah, the
You know,
login stuff is crap. But like they have been talking now recently about giving us an option for the prototype stuff. And I just keep,
yeah.
yeah, I have so much, man. I got 166 of this and 140 of this and 33 here. And, it's like,
I
I
don't even
don't
know
even
why I keep
open it.
them. Like I feel like I should just destroy them all. Like you
I
can do
can't.
that.
Yeah, I can't. Fuck
But
that. It's like something's gonna happen. I can't just
yeah, you
destroy
keep
it,
them
man.
because you're like one day.
One day. Pretty much like why I keep everything in
Well,
my.
take it like you can use prototype rigs to reverse engineer, like regular rigs, or
Yeah.
something. Like
Yeah, why not?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like they're so
Prototype rigs
bad.
will be the secret ingredient to making Y type. Like
Why
like
type?
forget X type. We're bringing Y type. Like
Dude, that's
here
like
you go.
that's pretty
Yeah.
much something they should like that's something they could do like like this new year they'd be like, yeah, we're expanding to Y type. And I would be like, are you fucking kidding me? Is that what you do? Like we don't even have X type yet. Well, except that
There's
Macarial
only
fire.
very, very few people that have that because the cost in making one,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't even imagine. I'd have to sit
What
down and play with some math to get
did
an
you
idea.
did you see my my podcast with the most expensive loss?
I did. I
Oh
did.
yeah. Yeah, okay. So
That
that
guy,
is a couple of X
that's a lot
types.
of money. A
Yeah,
lot of
yeah, I
money right
know. Yeah,
there.
yeah. But there's so much items out, and I just keep collecting, and I just want to get rid of them. But like, how am I supposed to sell around 1,000 Core C type large afterburners? Like, how am I supposed to sell 1,000? Um,
Yeah.
I have so much stuff, and I want to take them and use it to make B types or whatever. But
Mm.
like they just like, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter how much I buy, it still like floods the market. And just imagine how many people that sits there just like me. I imagine there's people with even more items than I do. But imagine if we would like put that out. I could sell like my Gistem C types reactive shield hardeners. I could put 3,000 out right now, and that's only in Hida.
Mm.
That's never gonna end, you know. So I don't
That's
know.
yeah.
Yeah,
It'd
it's
take a while to sell. You know.
yeah.
Maybe if they got rid of insurance, they would sell. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I think they're
Uh,
way too cheap today. I mean, 1 million or
oh yeah, the reactives for sure, definitely.
yeah. Some guns
If
are
anything, I
okay.
would say they could do to like buff the reactives a little bit, so people actually want to start using them.
Yeah, I never use them, man. Maybe I do use them in. I did use them. I don't anymore, but I did use them in high, like T10 story missions. I had 2 red and 1 yellow. Uh,
Yeah,
now
for
it's
like
like I never use it.
if you know you're only going to go up against this like one or two damage types,
Yeah, yeah,
there's a point when the reactive is the right move instead of another adaptive.
yep, yep.
Um,
Agree.
but I mean, in PvP, you never, well, unless you got really good intel, you don't know what damage types you're going to go up against, because,
Yeah,
you know, um, so people aren't going to use them for PvP. And even if PvE, lots of times if there's more than two damage types, the reactives are useless. It
yep,
needs two
yep.
or one damage type. you know.
And they drop
Um,
so much. They have to drop that much.
oh yeah.
So yeah, there's but as you say, I am, and as I've said before, like don't change the drop rates. You just have to fix the insurance. And then they say we're not gonna fix the insurance. And some people claim that because CCP hates their insurance, and I'm like, well, they've had it for 20 years. I don't think they hate it that much. They would have changed
Mm.
it. But I mean, if you're not gonna change the insurance, then you have to do something with either the drop rates or the way we use them.
One thing I always thought would be really nice is if they made high-end stuff drop in low-end content rarely. Like you're in that dead space and you're fighting a Cinnaball and it's gonna drop that angel debris 50% of the time. I think it'd be really neat if some guy who's out there in like a 0.5 system running an anomaly, there is a really small percent chance that like it could drop like an angel debris. I mean, it would be it'd be interesting, like just for the lower end stuff on a real small percentage of the time to have a chance of something special dropping.
Yeah, I think
I think
yeah,
that would be cool,
I think the stuff that you should find is a rare spawn. So like in EVE Online, you have um, the the dark or whatever, like the true Sancha spawn, and
mm,
that should be able to be in the O5 space, like a small one,
yeah.
right? And that one should definitely be able to drop one. I agree totally. And
Yeah,
maybe
like
some Sancha
anytime you
gear.
have anything like the higher end stuff is going to be, it should be a more common, a less common thing sliding along the security levels. It shouldn't be like 100% it's never here and 100% it is here.
Yeah, of
It
course
should
not.
be a more common, less common sliding scale,
Yeah,
like, so you'd get the rare treat of something high end being in a low end area, I don't know. I think that'd be cool.
a change in the environment. So um, some
Yeah,
guy,
make it a little less predictable, you
yeah,
know.
some guy plays at home and he's a T6 or whatever, and he gets like a succubus spawn, like a true Sancha succubus, and that's gonna be the highlight of his evening, right? And in nullsec you get an officer spawn, which is, I don't know, like a battlegorn, or something like that that can drop maybe even a named item, like that rat's name's gun, uh,
Oh wow,
like
yeah. I
Tobias or
forgot about
whatever.
those.
Yeah, but I mean, they could drop the X type, or something similar to that, and that would be like that guy's evening, right?
I
Like
would
that's
have
a
liked that
memory.
before they made it so we build X types. Since the
Yeah,
B, the A, and the X we build, I don't want them to drop those because
yeah, I
that'll
agree.
hurt that industry.
I kind of agree,
Uh,
but the counterparts of X type would be Tobias or Ray Ceres, Pool Slays, or
hmm.
whatever. I think that would be great. And we have it in the game already. The-
Oh, I wish they'd let us have structure reppers. I
oh,
would love to
interesting.
hull tank a ship. I think it'd be hilarious. I would love to hull tank a battle venture. Like I might lose 99 times out of 100, but that one time I win, it would be so awesome that I won hull tanking a battle venture.
Why not?
Give me a structure repper.
Wait, don't you have one? I got one.
I know there were a few in the game. They're untradeable. You
I
can't give it
know.
to me if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I've
I
got
don't
a
want to
guy in
give
my
it.
corp that has two.
Yep,
He
I
tried
got
to
one
give me
left.
one. You know. Uh,
Yeah. I got a small one which sucks, but
I think they're only. I never heard anyone getting anything larger than a small.
yeah, I know one who got a medium.
Oh
So
wow,
so
yeah.
medium at least. But yeah, you would need two of them or something to be able to maybe do
Usually rep
something.
slowly. You know.
I haven't
Uh,
actually read on it. I just have it as a collector's item. But yeah.
I'm jealous. That'd be a cool one to have.
Yeah, it
You
is.
know.
It's actually very cool. But It should be tradable. Like, are you sure you can't trade it through contracts either?
We tried.
Oh,
We
okay,
tried putting it in a corporate hangar. We tried. There's no way.
So how come some people just got it, and why did I get one?
I think early
Like,
in the game, it was like special loot that could be dropped in a certain storyline mission.
oh, yeah, maybe. Okay,
But then
that
they
explains it.
decided they didn't want them in the game, so they took them out. But for the people that had already gotten one, they let you keep it.
Hell yeah.
But they made it untradeable.
Hell yeah. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I think Benzi have one.
Yeah, yeah. I think he
Because
does too.
when
I
I
think I
had
remember him
him,
mentioning that.
yeah, I had him on my podcast, and he said, "What's the most rare thing you have?" And I didn't think about it, and I was like, I said something else, I think, and he said, "Well, I have a hole repairer," and I was like, "Oh shit, I got one too." But yeah,
I wish I had one. I mean, not just for like my dream of hull tanking a battle venture, but
that would be
just because
cool.
then when you take, I don't have to pay to repair my structure damage. You know,
True,
I could just
true.
dock, fit the thing, and undock and sit there in space and repair. But I
Yeah,
also think that's why they decided to remove him from the game. They want that ISK sync. They want people to have to spend to repair their hull damage
like,
because
is
that
it
just takes a little
expensive?
bit of ISK out of the game. You know.
I've never noticed it. Like, is there maybe because I never dock with hull damage because I never return home? I just keep fighting until I die. But is it
Mhm.
expensive to repair your hull?
It can be with some ships,
Okay,
especially like high end, faction this, that, or the other. It
no,
can
maybe.
cost you some millions for sure.
All
Yeah.
right, okay. I had no idea. But I mean, that's not much ISK sync, man. We do like just look at making
Exactly.
B
That's why
types,
they
man.
should let it be in the game, you know?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Man, I have stuff from last Christmas. All the Christmas items. I got, the cat that we had, like everything.
Yeah,
I just
I got a whole set of those.
Yeah,
I
just
saved them.
because you never know.
Yeah.
And it says expired, but
Because I can't have station containers, what I have is my
chips.
can use ships became storage. And like I keep collectibles and skins in my can use ships in the hangar because I can't have a storage container. So that's where I got all my little kitty
That
cat and the little dog tags and those little
Yeah,
collectible things.
I had
Yeah.
it. I had it too, man. But it got to the point because I had it in Anathemas, I think, and I had a
Mm.
couple of them, but it was so hard. Like, I still had to look through everyone because I couldn't name them. If I could name my Anathema skins, that would be nice.
Yeah,
Because
you got to use a different ship for each one.
a different what?
Like a different ship. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
but
I've
like
got
you
my
have to
skins
remember
in my
that.
Can-U battle cruiser. I've got and then you got to have your collectibles or in my
True.
like you put it in your Praxis.
Fuck yeah, I
Just
have a
all the ships
spread.
that you got, but you'd
Yeah,
never fly. Use a different one
yeah.
for each type of thing. That'd be the way you could keep it straight.
I need a spreadsheet for where my items are.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
because I don't like the part where you have this tradable skins because I have a ton of skins, and then you have this non-tradable skins, 15 days or whatever. They're gonna remove those or do something with them. I'm not sure. They have
I
been
hated
talking about it.
those.
Yeah, I don't like
I
it
remember I
either.
was so excited because I got a Grimace skin for that first Halloween event. The
Oh
best
yeah,
Halloween event.
for which ship?
But then it went from being super excited to being super sad when I realized it was only like a 30-day one.
Oh
You
man,
know,
have you used
I
it?
was like, oh yeah, awesome. Oh wait, no, it's only for so many days.
Oh man, yeah, I got a ton of those. Oh man.
They got me like that.
Oh man, yeah, here's an ice cream.
And then
No, you're
this
not.
last time I was excited they brought it back. I wanted the Celestis one, but if you do the missions, you got the battle cruiser box. But I want the cruiser one.
Oh
So
man,
I
I
still didn't
didn't.
get my
Yeah.
Celestis one because I was not going to pay 3 billion for a skin.
Oh no,
I
no, no,
thought
no.
about it because I really wanted it because I think the Celestis is the coolest of all the Grimace skins. But
I
I could
think,
not talk
yeah,
myself into paying 3 billion for a skin. It's
Yeah, well,
just
it's a rare
a little
skin to
too
be
much.
honest.
It is.
I've sold skins way more expensive than that, and I think 3 billion was. If you wanted one, I felt like yeah, it's a fair price. Like lower than that, it would be everyone would have it. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You should
I
have been
wish I
able
could
to
trade
choose
in my
any
battle
ship.
cruiser box for the cruiser box.
Yeah, definitely.
That would have. I wish I could have done that.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a thing too. Like you have all these nanocores now. Like I think I have like 15 or something. Or going close to 20. I don't know. I have to count them, but I got a ton of them. And sure, I would like one nanocore for each ship. And depending like if I want to fly the Rook or the Vindicator or the Balgorn, I want to have a nanocore. I don't want to buy a blue one. Um, but
I almost think like they need to let building nanocores be a better thing than it is. Because
dude, I've
I
lost
mean,
so
yeah,
much.
you can build the blues and the greens pretty well, but
Yeah,
the purples, all the purples were like from Concord Pass or from an event. They're
they're
all
way
stuff
better.
that NetEase is giving. And I think the purples should be the ones that people build,
You
you
can
know.
build the purple, but they're not good.
But I mean those like I don't have all the purples I got were from Concord or events or stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I think the majority should be ones that are player built, not the extreme minority, you know.
I agree. Yeah,
Eh,
sure.
Yeah.
I think
And I hate Death Wish cores. I wish they were removed from the game. Yeah.
I got
I
two. I
just
need one more so I can trade it for something I need.
I don't want a ship to have plus 17 warp stability.
Oh
Like,
shit, no! But you want a ship that can scramble anything, right?
yeah, I guess there's that argument that
Yeah, you have it the other way
you
around.
can counter a Death Wish core with a Death Wish core because the stability one can be countered by the one that boosts its warp scramming ability, right? But
Yep, yep.
I just think it's if you have that much stability should require a greater trade-off.
Yeah, everyone says
You
that.
should have to sacrifice a lot of other things and abilities that ship can do in exchange for that much stability.
It's easy.
You
I
know,
I said I said with warp core strength comes higher signature radius. So for each warp core strength that you have, even if it's nanocore based or if it's through a warp core aura or whatever, you should have penalty on your signature radius. So
I'd
locking
also
speed
make it
should be affected.
I'd modify your what's it called? Your inertia.
I don't think you need. I don't think you need to because people
Oh, because
will be flying.
here's my argument.
Yeah. Okay.
So that guy's got plus 17 warp stability. And yeah, he's got a big signature, so my missiles and torpedoes can hit him really good. But he still can warp away in 2 seconds. So if a trade-off for warp stability was hurting your inertia stabilizing, now maybe it takes him 10 seconds to get to warp, you know. So yeah, he can get away because he's got all that warp stability, but we get all those extra seconds to try to pop him before he gets away.
Oh, that's actually
You
pretty
know,
clever. My idea was a bit, well, I would say more evil, but I like
mm.
your ideas better. Actually, that is, yeah. So having like 16 warp stability would take you maybe I don't know 2-3 minutes to warp. I don't know,
Maybe not that
but
much, but
yeah, I know,
but
I
yeah,
know.
I mean, there's a sweet spot of the right amount of
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
of
right
course.
amount of delay.
The numbers is not set, but my
But I mean, at
idea,
the end of the
yeah,
day, I guess what we're saying overall is there should be more of a trade-off for that much warp stability. You should have to sacrifice some things to make it balanced. And right now with those cores, you're not really sacrificing much, you
no,
know.
not nothing at all,
Like
really.
like oh no, you don't get the secondary ability that gives you plus 5% to your tracking. Whoop-de-doo. You got an extra 3 to your warp stability, like you're not sacrificing much at all. And that's
Yeah.
why I think those cores are real unbalanced.
I think you should really get the signature penalty because you wouldn't want to fly a ship that took like 3 minutes to lock a battleship. Because like doing
Mm.
missions in that one is like, yeah, I'm gonna lock forever. and all right, here comes someone, and I have to warp away. So I didn't get to kill this mission because it took too long. I think that would be one way to make people try to lower their stability. Like, I want to go a bit lower so I can do it quicker, and that's gonna be their downfall. But yeah, I think.
Oh, you know what else I want? This is totally jumping topics, but
Yeah,
I
okay.
want D-scan. Do you remember D-scan in EVE Online?
Yeah. Sure, with the bubbles.
Because like my corp originally was a low-sec corp. We lived in low-sec, and when scanning came, it was a bloodbath.
Yeah.
But it's because you have no defense. Your only defense is to bring along a friend or an alt in a little frigate or a pod, because then they can detect that you've been scanned. But I mean, that's no fun. I mean, that's not good gameplay, because if it's a real person, they're tagging along to do nothing. If it's your alt, you're bringing a whole second account just to hang out. Like, it'd be better, like with D-scan. Like, I remember when I lived in a wormhole in EVE Online, I'd keep my little D-scan window up, and every like 30 seconds, I would just tap it. And if I saw scanning probes, there's my clue. Someone's trying to scan me down.
Yeah.
So like, it's something that you actively have to play that gives you a little bit of a defense against scanning. You could like tap your little D-scan, and so long as you tapped it, it could detect you're being scanned potentially. So then, like, I think I want that. That would be good, because that's active playing, as opposed to our only current defense, just passive playing that requires a waste of an account. Either the friend tagging along for no good reason, or the alt. It's just a waste of space, and that it's poor design, really.
I think
Sorry, I
that
jumped
would.
around.
Yeah,
I know,
but
we.
I like how you think, man. It's like that is a great introduction to wormhole space too.
Yeah.
That's like if we have that button and they release wormholes where there's no local.
It would also help bring low sec back to life.
A little bit.
The only people in low sec are like storyline runners who are stabbed up the wazoo. These are the people who might have the Death Wish core, right?
Yeah.
Or people that are just so
new,
like hesitant, like
yeah, new people and hardcore.
Yeah, and also,
stories,
you're right. New people who don't know any better yet. I mean, it's really, you can live in low sec stations, but you're not doing anything in low sec. You're not running anomalies. You're not doing your storylines. You're not mining.
Yeah.
Like, all those things are so dangerous with scanning that only a very small subset of people who are stabbed to death, or they bring along that wasted account of a friend or an alt, and they warp back to station at the slightest suspicion of anything. So nobody, like, it's not the vibrant place it was originally. It's not the vibrant place it could be. And I think the one little simple thing that would bring low sec back to life would be D-scan, because then you have that active component that you'd have to actively play to do, but it would help it so you could do things in low sec. You could mine. You could, run anomalies, because you have that little bit of a defense that to give you that little alert that you're being scanned down. It wouldn't make you safe. People could still warp to you if you're in an anomaly or in a belt. It may be if you didn't tap the button at the right time, you didn't catch that you were being scanned. So it'd still be a totally dangerous place, but you would have the possibility of having a little bit of that warning, that little bit of defense, so you could do something about it.
I did a video where I talked about how to make Eve Echoes better, and I talked about mostly about low sec and how to maybe have some special ores in low sec, or maybe even if we could harvest, for example, gas that we can do in EVE Online only in low sec, and maybe wormholes if they add it.
Or ice.
To actually make low sec interesting.
Factories with PI.
Factories with PI would work.
PI.
Yeah, I want people to be there more often, and I think it would open up a new type of players, those who live in high sec and on weekends like create roams in low sec just to like protect their miners or whatever. I think that would be a really nice. I can't remember what that video is called though.
I've got a silly streak in me. Like,
yeah,
if it was just me, I'd probably name my court something real ridiculous and stupid, like, sticky gumball or something. I don't know, but it's not just me, so I try to pick something that appeals to everyone.
Yeah. I would be called, like, I wanted to make my because I have a corporation called One ISK. I wanted it to actually be called narcotics cartel or something. Just because Serpentis, they
They
have
can bring
narcotics.
drugs into the game. Where's my
Yes,
boosters?
I know, and still
Right?
no, nothing.
That'd be
Yeah,
great.
nothing. That would be awesome. I talk about
I gotta
drugs
say,
too.
and this is a shout out for people I don't even know who they are. My favorite alliance name, or maybe it's a corp in the game that's not in my own corp or alliance, is yes, please continue.
Yes,
Because
please.
there's, everybody knows no. They're pretty hardcore. No, please stop, like their full name. So someone out there had the brilliant idea to name their group "Yes, please continue," just to like troll them. And, I just think it's so hilarious. I mean, props to them. It's funny.
Yeah. Did you play World of Warcraft by any chance?
No, no, I never
So
played that one.
so there's races and stuff in that game, and one of the races are I think it's called elves, and they have
Okay.
this power from like blue water in moon wells and shit. So it's like everything is blue, and they got these fountains and stuff that gives them power. And then you have some other guys like dwarves and stuff. So I saw a corporation, like I saw a guild. It's called guild there. That was called We Pee in Moonwells. That made me laugh, dude. That was so
That's
funny.
awesome.
Yeah, I think it's perfect. But yeah, oh man, that's so funny. So more of that into this game, man. More names like that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we got off track by about 45 minutes. I would like to ask you if you can recall your best kill.
I'm really torn between 3 or 4. I think my best one from a skill perspective would be I took out 2 interceptors with my battle venture once. And I
Oh,
thought
that's
that was
good.
pretty cool because it
How
was a
did you do that?
2-on-1.
Yeah, how did you do that?
I just don't think they were expecting. They thought they had an easy kill, and
They went really
I wasn't.
close, and you had two Webbers, or what? Can you have two
Oh
Webbers on?
yeah, exactly. They came in close, which
Oh man.
yeah, they weren't ready for it at all. And I think the first one, the second, the second one didn't realize what was going on because he had the chance. He probably could have run, but then his friend blew up, and before he could run, I had him grabbed too. So that's probably my best one for
That's
skill. Although the best
impressive.
one for meaning was probably one of the first times me and my co-CEO had ventured into nullsec. This is back when we lived in lowsec. They were mining and they got jumped, and I got to play hero. I came in my little
Oh,
interceptor and I fought off the attacker, and I saved my friend. That one probably had the most meaning. Because
it's a nice one.
it's
Yeah.
one of the favorite moments in the game when you get to play hero and save your friends, right? Your
Yeah.
friend's under attack and you come in there at the last minute and save the day. Like, that's an awesome feeling.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite moments in the game is when you get to save a friend who would otherwise would have lost.
Yeah.
Uh,
A great memory
yeah.
too.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we have to call it now. Like,
All right.
we can do
Well,
this forever. I feel I had to break it up. All right, but thank you so much, Alias, for
oh
joining
no,
me.
thank you.
And if people want us to get together again and spend another 2 hours on talking about everything, then just tell us that in the comments, and I see you guys again.